Hi everyone and welcome to this new mini let's play where we're going to play the Shrouded Eye. So let me start the video and tell you a little bit about the background of the game, or maybe you can just read it and I'm going to explain what the game is about. So you are the high priest of a community that is awaiting the return of their lord to glory, and you are to pursue sinners in your community. And the game is very graphic, so there's not a lot of fancy animation or everything. It's very drawing based. But the idea is that every month for every season you'll have a council of 5 advisors and you're gonna have to investigate on their sins and their virtues. And based on that you will have to find people with major vices and you'll have to basically sacrifice them to please your lord. So as you can see at the bottom, we've got 5 indicators: the ignorance, the fervor, discipline, penitence and obedience. And we need to keep these at a certain threshold. And we are going to use advisors from the 5 houses, so the Cagney, Yosefka, Cadwell, Efferson and Blackburn estates. And we will need to make sure that we find people with major sins or major vices that we can sacrifice, and at the same time make sure we've got the correct level of all of these 5, I'm not sure how we should call them, but indicators, let's see. So we've got some kind of event in the game, so let's start with that. Driftwood. After a harsh storm, an outsider washed ashore. Villagers want to throw him back into the ocean, but you wonder if his arrival is more than a coincidence. We can either return the guy to the sea, we can ask the Blackburn to interrogate him, but ignorance will suffer, and we can ask the Cagney to watch him. So that's interesting because basically the game has this kind of sarcastic idea of kind of autocratic community. So it's better to make sure people stay ignorant. So I'm actually gonna return the outsider to the sea, and the reason for that is because my ignorance is actually the lowest of all of my indicators, so I want to make sure that that's happening. I guess if I ask the Blackburn to interrogate, the ignorance will diminish and the penitence will increase, because it's going to be Ludmila who's going to look at it. Ludmila as she's rumored to affect penitence, so actually see what it means. Let me just do that. Ignorance plus 15, that's fantastic. And so basically each character of the family have a vice and a virtue, they are trait, and we have to investigate on them to basically know and find the one with major vices and major virtue. So I think what we want to do is very quickly kind of know what these guys are good at and bad at. So let's first investigate on people who we don't know anything about. Disobedient. And then we'll see what we can do. Discipline, perfect. We cannot inquire here because these guys start, or I mean it's random, but these guys start as dissatisfied. However, the Cadwell are satisfied, and the Yosefka as well. So if these guys reach a level, I don't know, I think it's minus 50 or minus 60, they will actually start to rebel against me and I lose the game. So I need to make sure I'm going to keep these guys satisfied. There are multiple ways of doing so, but if I sacrifice one of their member of their family, I'm going to take a big hit in satisfaction and they're going to be displeased, so I will not sacrifice anyone from their family this season. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I know I'm going to sacrifice someone from Cadwell this season. So I know I need to pick someone, if I sacrifice someone who is obedient, obedient has a virtue, I'm going to take a hit on obedience. If I sacrifice someone who has a vice on discipline, I'm going to take a buff on discipline. So that's something to keep in mind. Obedience, we're doing okay-ish. Discipline, we're doing quite good. So I think Maria will actually be my victim for this turn. So I'm gonna appoint her as my advisor for this season, and then we'll see. So let's see, we've picked someone who's gonna have plus discipline. We need to pick someone who has plus of everything. So fortunately here we don't know anyone that has a plus which is not discipline, so we're gonna have to pick Bella so that we can learn a little bit more about her. Over there we can increase our penitence or ignorance. So I'm gonna take Katarina. It's random here, but I think it's useful if I pick only girls later on, because you'll see, because we know the gender of we get some help from our Lord, which tells us the gender of major sinners. So I think focusing on women's, if I can, would be a good idea. Ignorance here, so let me double check. Did I pick someone with penitent here? And over there someone we don't know anything about. I can take someone with ignorant for sure, but it's Carol. But I prefer to do that rather than picking a girl or female. And over there, again, we only know penitence and ignorance, so I'm gonna pick Jaromir. Now we'll have to pick him a few times because I want to improve their satisfaction. So let's begin. So every month we can select between 1 to 3 advisors, and if I select one advisor, the family for which she belongs will take a big buff in happiness. So as you can see, 4 thumb ups, and this guy's going to be neutral if I pick on him. However, it means I will not find out about the other people vice and virtues, and also every person has a family trait which will improve, so this guy will improve obedience, and then they have a vice which will improve one of the trait, and a virtue that will improve one of the categories, and a vice which will decrease. The thing to know is that the vice are stronger than the virtues, so it's kind of tricky. Like, the more I use, the more it's gonna annoy, or not annoy, but it's gonna decrease my levels of everything. I need to be very careful. So we said we wanted to pick Jaromir as much as possible, and we probably want to know a little bit more about... Do I need to know about Maria? Actually, probably not. Let's pick her and Bella. So she's giving us +3 ignorance. She's giving us a certain level of penitence. Seems like a quite good number, and she's undisciplined. So now we have an idea of what she's not good at, but we don't know how much she's not good at. However, I saw this decreased a little bit, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a major vice, which is great for me. She is good on fervor, and she's full of fervor. She boosted my fervor quite a lot, and she had an unknown impact on the community, which we don't know what it is. Jaromir is obedient, and his virtue is obedience. We still don't know his vice. So overall, I think it looked great. I never took any big hit in any of the categories. Oh, look at that! A letter arrives already. The light has been seen in Sagan Efferson's window long after the sleeping hours have begun. Oh, what is it doing? How dare you! House Efferson is accused of harboring one who really reads forbidden text. Oh my god, you're such a sinner, Sagan. We shall inspect Sagan Efferson's room for evidence. We must inform House Efferson so they may investigate. I shall punish frivolous complaints. So that's a good event here. I think House Efferson is neutral. I don't need to make them happier. We're a bit low on obedience, so let's improve obedience. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to balance these out as much as I can, because especially in the early game, this is very tricky, and it's much better to make sure you're safe instead of trying to hunt down major vices. I'm gonna pick her again because I'm gonna boost my fervor, and then I think discipline would be good, so I'm gonna pick her again, and then this guy is still dissatisfied, so I'm gonna do the same again. So Bella, we still haven't learned anything else about her. That's a little bit of a shame. +5 discipline here, and she is a masochist. It's great because this is a major virtue. So it means a big boost on whatever she's good at. I think discipline. Obedience, but lacking fervor. Okay. So actually I think Yosefka and Blackthorn kind of balance them out quite well. I think my obedience went really high, so I'm wondering if Isabella or Maria is not a very obedient person. I want to keep my fervor high, so I have to do that again. And then my discipline is really high, so I can pick Katerina Kegmi. And then I kind of don't want to risk anything. I'm just going to leave it like that. These guys are going to be super happy. So I'm going to have 2 satisfied. These guys are going to be dissatisfied, but that's okay. However, the Eversons are going to be neutral. I think I need to pick them to kind of balance this out a little bit, because I'm going to sacrifice... Oh no, I said I wanted to sacrifice House Cadwell. She has a major virtue, so that's not something I'm going to do. I might sacrifice Yosefka, Bella Yosefka. So I can keep it like that. Now let's learn a little bit more about these guys' vice and virtues, and we'll see. So Katerina is gluttonous, which is, I think, minor vice. Yeah, a minor vice. And actually very good, because discipline, we've got a ton of it. Bella, I think we haven't learned anything more about Bella. Oh, obedience decreased quite a lot, so we know she's not good, she's not very obedient. You can kind of trick the game by looking at things. And she's undisciplined, and it's quite a fair bit of undiscipline going, so... Okay. So in terms of house leader reactions, people are set between satisfied and neutral. I think I can afford to kill or sacrifice anyone, but ideally it would be Yosefka or Cadwell. The season's end draws near, a sacrifice needs to be made. So who are we going to sacrifice? So we know we don't want to sacrifice Maria, because she has a major virtue, which means I'll take a big hit on discipline. I'm tempted to sacrifice Carol. Oh, I can't remember who is happy. No, these two are happy. But my fervor is already was the lowest, I think, of all the ones I've got. So, what should we do? I think I can afford to sacrifice Carol, and I think I'm going to do that. They're going to be really dissatisfied. They're going to take a hit of, let's see. No, they will be outraged, so they're going to lose 20. This guy are going to get +5, +5, +5. They're going to be happy, basically. So if I spare him and choose her, I'm going to take a massive hit of discipline, a little bit of obedience. Could afford that. But I know nothing of Maria's transgression. Okay, spare her. Be outraged or forgivable, yeah, because she only has a minor vice. And they're going to be rebellious if I do that, so let's not do that. Spare her. I think Carol is probably the best choice. These guys are going to be dissatisfied, but apart from that, a small hit on ignorance and a small buff on discipline. So let's sacrifice Carol. Sorry, I know you haven't done anything wrong. Or probably something wrong in the eyes of our Lord, but oh, it's blood everywhere. So, House of Son -50 approval, other houses approval +5, +5 discipline, -10 ignorance. Fair enough. The night before the new season, a whisper caresses your dreams. My faithful servant, I await your devotion. Encourage discipline, denial of worldly pleasures. The artist, give him to me. Yeah, we hate artists here. So we need to find a male artist. And from now on, every season we're gonna have one of these that traits and needs to have a threshold of, or discipline of, a threshold of 50. So luckily, discipline was quite high in our list, so we're looking good. So we have an event. So let's look at that. By the way, the games is 4 seasons during 3 years, so 12 seasons total. And you can have multiple endings depending on if you found all the major scenarios in the game. I think there are 7 of them. So we'll see if we can do that. Dear leader, I must ask that you resign and allow Neda Cadwell to take your place. Clearly Neda speaks with the ringing silver trumpet that is Lord Chernobog's truth and justice. I look forward to your quick and hearty support. Concerned citizen. So, you can try to identify the sender. House Kigney will enjoy leading the investigation. They are neutral, so not that needed. Discipline Neda. Encourage obedience, but she's probably gonna be annoyed. She's satisfied though, so we can do that. Obedience is gonna be going up, which I would like. And this will encourage obedience, so I'm just gonna discipline her. +10. Okay, perfect. So we need to make sure we can afford to lose pretty much a bit of everything but discipline. And we need to find the artist who is an ignorant, it's an ignorant major virtue. So we need a male who is ignorant. Fortunately we don't know anything about males here. So maybe we should... Thing is, I don't think you can get the same vice and virtue, same category, so... Okay. I kinda know it's not someone from House Kigney then, because this guy can't have a major vice of ignorance, this guy as well. And this guy has a major vice of penitence, so probably not one of them. Over there we can inquire on who would be the artist. Piotr, nope. We only have 2 males here? We only have 2 males, okay, that's good. So again, no artist here. So who are we gonna investigate about? I'd like to know about the major vices rather than the virtues. And I think... Okay, she's disobedient. Good to know about that. Over there, satisfied, so we can have 1 inquiry. So it could be either Danik or Ivan. Let's investigate on Ivan. We don't know. So that's a little bit of a problem here. But I guess House Cadwell is probably a good suspect. Sagan Efferson knows too much, and I think... Well, it fits the description. Danica is fit as a fiddle. Okay, not enough folks really committed. Okay, we didn't learn anything about him, unfortunately. And over there we cannot investigate because they are still dissatisfied. Oh no, I did pick the advisor. I didn't begin the inquiry. So it's between Sagan and... Well, actually it is Sagan here. We need to get some people who has buff on ignorance, because I'm gonna have to pick him a few times so that I know more about him. So over there we said it could be Bogdan, and that's it. Let's pick Bogdan. So it's either one of these two. I mean, in Cadwell it could be anyone. It could be Danik or Ivan. Tempted to pick Danek. And over there, we know it's none of these guys, so we need to know someone who is ignorant. Unfortunately, I don't know anyone who's ignorant. So I'm tempted to take Vadim. And in the Kegmi estate, we know Ladislas will give us a buff on ignorance, and Miko as well. Let's pick Ladislas. And let's begin the season. So we're definitely gonna have to boost ignorance every turn. I think so. Oh yeah, we can't afford to lose too much discipline. I shouldn't have picked Vadim then. A little bit of a mistake for me. It's good that we can pick him to improve our discipline. Okay, so let's begin the months. More ignorance, that's good. And then ignorance +1 is practical, it's a minor virtue. That's fine. Ooh, discipline took a hit, so I think this guy is undisciplined. We'll have to remember that. He's boosting my obedience, and he has a minor effect. We kind of don't know what it is, but it didn't seem that we took a big hit on ignorance. He's full of fervor, and yeah, it doesn't seem to have a big hit on ignorance. So these guys are still dissatisfied. I need to keep that in mind, especially if I want to sacrifice Bogdan, because I think it might be Bogdan. So let's see, I need to boost my discipline. These guys are going to be super satisfied, and I need to boost that as much as I can. We know it's not Sagan. And we know this guy is giving us a decrease of discipline, so we probably don't want to do that. Let's just pick these two guys. Gonna push the Blackborn happiness a little bit up. Isn't questioning, which is a major virtue, and that's great for my obedience. And I think for my ignorance it's not that great. Okay, Bogdan is disobedient, and he's very disobedient, but it means I still don't know who is the artist then. Okay, we need to think a little bit more here. That's the last month. We know we're gonna have to sacrifice someone, and that someone might be Vadim, because of the very high level of happiness he's got. So let's see, do we need to boost fervor and diminish ignorance? No, because we need ignorance. We need to do that, but we know that's going to bring discipline down, so it would be good to have this. And know a little bit more about Danek. But then at the same time, we need to keep these guys happy. I need to pick him, which is going to bring down my ignorance, which is annoying, because I think he's bringing down ignorance quite a lot. But I don't have a choice. And because I'm going to sacrifice Vadim, this guy's going to take a +5 happiness. I think it's good. They're going to be zealous if I do that, which is great. We can afford to lose a bit of discipline. Try to figure out what he's gonna do. So ignorance +3 +4 is got a minor virtue, and his vice we still don't know about. Maybe he is the artist. Ooh, Vadim's very undisciplined. What's going on? And you know too much. Okay, and my discipline is taking a big hit. I think you know what that means. I know I can't be wrong. I know that he is the artist. Gathering convince who will be sacrificed. If I do that, the thing is I need to get my discipline up. I really want to kill Vadim this turn. I can afford to do it. I'm going to do that because I don't want. So if one of your criteria ends below the threshold for 2 seasons in a row, you lose the game. If I get my discipline right now under 50, it means that next turn I'll have to boost it as much as possible. So if I do that, discipline is going to take a little bit of a buff and penitence a bit of a nerf, which is pretty okay. Yosefka will be outraged, but that's fine. I'm okay. We're already happy. So unfortunately, I don't kill a major sinner, but I know who's going to be my next target, and I can plan ahead, which is good. Except that the new season begins. We've got 2 dissatisfied house, 1 zealous and 2 neutral. These guys are going to be neutral again very soon. We don't have any letter, so we know we're going to kill Danik, but I like to ensure that. Okay, he's the artist, so we're gonna kill him. Now, who else do we want to know about? Either Chini or Ivan, because I want to know what... Okay, it's Shasta. I wanted to know the vice. I want to know all the vices. So we're gonna pick Danik, and we're never gonna pick him. But they're zealous, so that's perfect. I can afford to not pick them, kill them, they're still gonna be neutral. We need to make sure we... So first, discipline and ignorance. I'll need to boost discipline and ignorance. I've got a lot of obedience, penitence, and fervor. And I'll probably pick these 2 guys quite often. Unfortunately, part of the houses that will boost penitence and obedience. So let's see. I can afford to lose... Well, I need to boost ignorance and discipline. Fortunately, I don't know anyone who boosts that here. I need Blackthorn. I don't know. I know her. I'm gonna have to pick her, Nadia. It's unfortunate that I cannot inquire about her. I know I'm gonna use her a little bit, and I know I need to pick someone here. I know this guy is not gonna... I mean, we can afford to lose penitence, so I need to pick either Laszlo or Wendelin. Let's pick Laszlo. Over there, House Yosefka might have to pick once. So let's see, can we boost something? Discipline, yeah. Be interested to know more about her. Or Piotr, because Piotr will decrease penitence, which I've got tons of. Although the other guys decreases penitence as well. Maybe Rada then, yeah. Great, we found a major vice, so that's perfect. I know I'm not gonna pick her, and so I can appoint Iva. And this means I already know another major sinner. And so over there, we probably want to pick this house to boost the ignorance, but I know Miko wasn't that great at boosting ignorance. This is only a minor virtue, so not that great. I think I can afford to lose fervor, so let's investigate. She will bring me penitence, not that useful. Let's go with Ladislas again. And I think we're good to go. But let's do this third season before I end this first video, and I hope to get 4 videos out of these mini let's play, so hopefully you're gonna like that. Let's pick that guy, and I said I wanted to get this dissatisfied guy back. Let's see, he's undisciplined unfortunately, so I'll have to not pick him again. He's a weasel, so it's a minor vice, but still a -20. And she is -1 obedience. That's a shame. Ignorance though got a boost. She's lacking fervor, but that's not a major vice it seems. So that's good. Neutral again, so that's great. Secret Delights, a gift from your pleased ally, Lord Cadwell arrives. These guys are zealous. May this secret delight prove Cadwell loyalty. Oh, you don't know what's awaiting you. discourages discipline. House Cadwell will not like that. Well, I can't afford to lose discipline, so I'm gonna have to do that. Plus 15 discipline, plus 10 obedience. Look at that, great. Very pleased about that. So now I can focus a bit on ignorance. So I can do this. I can do that. And I think... oh, okay, dissatisfied. Yeah, I said I wanted to pick her once, so... let's pick her once. These guys are gonna be dissatisfied. I might balance this out next turn. So we know he's undisciplined, that's fine. Not a lot. She is disobedient. How much though? A little bit. No major vice here. And she is dull. Because... perfect, thank you for being dull, I love it. Okay, this is looking good. Apart from these guys being dissatisfied, we're gonna get everybody neutral next turn. I can afford to lose 5 points for them, and because these guys are gonna get sacrificed, we're gonna get 5 points as well. So that's good. Level stats wise, we're still good everywhere. And it would be good to get these guys a bit happier. But I'm kind of tempted to find a little bit more about people. So I'm gonna need to find out about this guy. I'm gonna sacrifice him. Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice him. So it means ignorance is gonna get a boost. So I don't care if I lose ignorance, but obedience is gonna take a hit. But I'm so good at obedience that it's fine. I can do just Laszlo's sister. I don't really want to lose more further. I could afford to do that. And that. I think, yeah, let's do that. Let's try to learn as much as possible. Perfect, he's a flirt. What a shame. Shame on you, Ladislas. You're a married man. How dare you? But that's fine. So you see a total of +3, +1, but -6. So even though we discover some vice and virtues, we often take some hits. So we know it's not technically a minor vice, I think it's a medium vice, I would say. This is good to know though. She has a major virtue, that's great. She's ascetic and she probably has a minor vice here, so she is good. Very useful. And he's ignorant and he's a weasel. So even though he's a weasel, kind of balances a bit with his family, so that's fine. Finish results, everybody a little bit more happy. And now we can make a sacrifice to protect the village. And we're gonna kill our first major sinner, who's gonna be Danik Cadwell. Sacrifice him. I think this is a good start. So as you can see, there's kind of a strategy in the order you investigate things. There's kind of this theme about this community and the fact that it's very, you know, theocratic, very tyrannic, I would even say. It's very interesting, and I love the kind of visual aspect they've given to everything. So anyway, we gain a bonus of ignorance and a decrease of obedience. That's fine because we've got a ton of it. And House Cadwell approval -30 only because we know he's major sinner. An artist. How dare you paint stuff? Night before the new season, a whisperer caresses your dream. My most beloved, you struggle so pleasingly. Encourage penitence, deserved suffering for mortal sins. The swindler, give her to me. So we need to find the swindler. We know it's a lady. And that's great because all my indicators are really good apart from penitence, which is the one we'll have to find about. However, we need to find the swindler, who is penitent. So we'll have to see about that. But in any case, we're gonna try to do that in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next winter. Goodbye.